And welcome to our Tuesday morning scoreboard from weekend matches. It was the Queen's birthday long weekend. There were some matches in New South Wales and Victoria, and beginning in New South Wales, but with mainly Victorian sides. It was the Sunraysia Football League that had relocated all of its games across the border and played out their games over in New South Wales. One of them was at Euston, and it was Robinvale Euston taking on the Oyen United Kangas. And the boys from out of the Mallee came up there and got done by 10 goals, unfortunately. I think it could put paid to the Blue and Whites season. It was Robinvale Euston way too good, 18-10, 118, beating the Oyen United Kangas 10-8, 68. A difficult afternoon, 10 goals adrift, and certainly not in the same contest as Robinvale Euston. It was a good win by Orimple over Wentworth on the weekend. They got up 18-5 to 12-8, whilst in other matches it was Imperials 20 goals 19, getting up and beating South Mildura 6 goals 5. And on Sunday in the match that was played over the border, it was Merbeen 17-9 beating Redcliffs 11 goals 9, a 6-goal even margin. Well, they played football in the Wimmera on the weekend. There weren't any crowds, but they got their season back on track by having those games, and it was a terrific performance by the Horsham Saints. They won 10-66 to beat the Southern Mallee Giants 9-8-62 in a magnificent game of football. Reading through some of the postings on it, it was close all day, great atmosphere, and well supported and well organised by the Saints in what is a difficult situation with club rooms and change facilities and keeping netball and football apart and crowd control, those sorts of things when you don't have any crowds. So I guess you don't necessarily have crowd control, but you have to monitor who is there and at their permission level to be there and so on. They did really well, but a good win to the Saints. It keeps their season right on track. Southern Mallee Giants, that loss important in their season because it puts them now behind Minyat Matoa, who won 21-9, 135. Way too good for Dimboola, 12-8-80. Now, Dimmy were taking on one of the top sides here, and unfortunately they've got done by a really good side at Matoa, and they are really going well now, the Boroughs, and they're at the top of the ladder. It was a good performance by the Warwick Eagles. They won 10-12-72, beating Nil 10-8-68, and I'm told it was a great day for the Eagles. They had wins in this grade, but it was a really good tussle against Nil, two evenly matched sides, obviously playing for the bottom position on the ladder to some degree. Nil are now in that, but the Warwick Eagles got their first win by 4 points over the Nil Tigers. The other match was at Stawell, and it was the Warriors 13-8-86 beating Horsham 9-8-62. So, the D's now, that's an important win for Stawell that puts them again up in that top two sides with Minyat Matoa, and then after that the Southern Mallee Giants, and it's the Saints are making up as they catch up with Dimboola around the Mark 2 this year. As we go to our final results, and this time we head to New South Wales again, this time to Hume football, and it is a moment of reckoning for CDHBU, the Power. They struggled against Brock Burham, and the whips got cracking there at the Brock Burham Saints. They won 24-12, 156 at CDHBU, 8-4-52. The boys from Corrine on their home deck, no match for Sedgwick and Co. Cupido booted 7, Sedgwick 8. Way too good for their opposition. A win by Ramwalbundry Waller. I suppose what they say, winning ugly is still a win. It was 12-8-80 to Calcan 10-9-69. I'll tell you what, this was a tough battle for the Giants, but they still got home in the end, and a good win. Chester with 6 for Calcan. Out of their 10 goals was a good player, and Hunt with 5 for the winners for Ramwalbundry Waller. Big win for Osborne over Henty, 13-10-88 over the Henty Swampies, 5-5-35. And again, Osborne just unassailable at the top of this ladder. Armstrong, 4 goals from the big man from Canberra. O'Malley was their better player, and Turlich just a couple. He did boot a big bag the week before, but not against the quality of opposition like the Osborne side are. And Gindera outlasted the Billabong Crows, 7-10-52 to 3-6-24. The Crows tried hard early, but in the end, in a low-scoring slugfest, Gindera got there with a 3-goal last quarter and didn't allow the Billabong Crows to get on the score sheet. sheet. It was a good effort from Galvin with 3 goals, and Evans spurted 2 for the Crows. And Holbrook thrashed Lockhart. Gee, they've hit the wall too, Lockhart. Holbrook too good, 20 goals, 12 to 7-3 from Lockhart. And Amory with 4 for Lockhart played well. Gestia with 7 and McKinlay 5 for Holbrook. And finally, Howlong back into the winners' run. It was 15-12, 102 to Murray Magpies, 5-5, 35. And I guess Holbrook, that's their second win of the season. Probably won't get to finals, but I tell you what, at the top of the table, we got Osborne playing some great football, and then Holbrook coming in second. And I reckon Brock Burham starting to make their way up into that top 4 echelon. Then after that, well, it's a throw a blanket over a number of sides for the placings into the top 6 for the Hume Football League. And there was no football in the Riverina or in the Farrer on the weekend for the Queen's Birthday long weekend. And that's a look at what happened across Victoria and New South Wales.